You know, your brain is running this incredibly complex program in the background, one you're probably not even aware of. But what if you could actually peek behind the curtain? Well, today we're going to do just that. We're going to uncover some of the hidden and honestly pretty surprising rules that dictate how you think, feel, and act every single day.
Just take a look at this sentence. You can read it perfectly, right? It's kind of weird. That's your brain on autopilot. It's this amazing pattern recognition machine that's always working to make sense of the world, even when the information it gets is a total mess. And that's just a tiny taste of what's going on up there. So let's dive into some more of your brain's secret rules.
All right, first things first, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the machine inside your head. We're going to explore what really makes it tick. 30%. What do you think that number represents? Well, that's roughly how much of the time the average person's mind is just wandering. Yep, for nearly a third of your day, your brain is off on its own little adventures, even when you're trying to focus.
Now, this is fascinating. Think about pain. Your brain actually processes the emotional sting of being rejected using the exact same pathways it uses for physical pain. So you know when people say a breakup actually hurts? They're not just being dramatic. On a brain level, it's literally true.
Have you ever felt that buzz in your pocket, reached for your phone, and nothing? Of course you have. That's got a name, phantom vibration syndrome. And it's a perfect, almost kind of creepy example of how our modern tech is literally rewiring our brains and creating brand new habits. Okay, here's a wild little brain hack for you. Let's say you had a terrible night's sleep. If you tell yourself, I slept well, and really try to believe it, you can actually trick your brain into feeling more rested. It just goes to show you how powerful the placebo effect and a little self-suggestion can be. This one feels completely backwards, doesn't it? But think about it. When you're tired, your brain's focus kind of loosens up. That part of your brain that acts like a strict editor, the prefrontal cortex, gets a little drowsy. This lets your mind make these weird, distant connections it normally wouldn't, which is exactly why some of your best ideas might pop into your head right before you fall asleep. So we've had a look under the hood of the brain itself. Now let's see how this all plays out when we have to deal with, well, other people. Let me ask you, do you think you're good at spotting a liar? We all like to think we are, right? But the truth is, our brains are constantly picking up on these tiny, almost invisible cues from other people. Let's see what the science actually says. Now, there's no single foolproof tell, like in the movies. But studies do point to a few common physical tics. For instance, when someone's lying, their blink rate can go way up. And all that face touching, the nose, the mouth, that's often a subconscious attempt to literally block or cover up the lie they're telling.
Okay, here's a number for you. 6%. Doesn't sound like a whole lot on its own, does it?
But that 6% is the estimated number of people who meet the clinical criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. So, put it this way, in an average room of about 100 people, you might be interacting with 6 of them. It's just useful information to have in your back pocket. You have to hear about this. It's a simple idea called the waiter rule. And the theory is that you can discover a person's true character by seeing how they treat people they don't have to be nice to. It really shows you their default setting for empathy and respect when they think nobody's watching. You know that old saying, love is blind? Well, it turns out it's actually neurologically accurate. When we're falling head over heels for someone, the part of our brain that's in charge of rational judgment and critical thinking, the prefrontal cortex, it actually powers down. We literally, on a chemical level, stop seeing the flaws in the person we're crazy about. And this whole process happens shockingly fast. It takes just 1/5 of a second for those feel-good love chemicals to start flooding your brain. Within the first 4 minutes of meeting someone, your mind is pretty much decided if there's potential. And get this, a simple hug, if you hold it for 20 seconds, releases hormones like oxytocin that create powerful feelings of trust. Okay, so we've looked at the brain's inner workings and how it deals with the outside world. For this last part, let's get really practical. Let's talk about how you can use all these little secrets to actually improve your own life. So you want to build a new habit, maybe go to the gym or read more. You can forget that old myth about it taking 21 days. The real science says that on average, it takes about 66 days for a new behavior to become truly automatic. To go from something you have to force yourself to do to something that just feels like part of your routine.
This next one is going to sound a little strange, but stick with me. Studies suggest that just by having a backup plan, a plan B, you're actually making your plan A less likely to work out. It's like that safety net makes you just a little less committed, a little less hungry for your main goal.
You've definitely felt this before, even if you didn't know the name for it. Cognitive dissonance. It's that cringy, uncomfortable feeling you get when your actions don't line up with your beliefs. The classic example? If you do a super boring task for no reward, your brain can't justify why you did it. So to fix that discomfort, it will often just change your belief and convince you, you know what, that task was actually pretty interesting. This one is, well, it's a bit of a reality check about our modern world. Research has found that the baseline anxiety level of the average high school kid today is about the same as the average psychiatric patient back in the 1950s. That's a pretty stark difference. But here's the good news. We have more tools than ever to take care of our own minds. And these aren't just feel-good quotes. They're strategies backed by actual research. Things like traveling, staying busy, surrounding yourself with happy people, and even doing things that scare you a little can have a real, measurable, positive effect on your brain and your happiness. So, there you have it. We've uncovered a few of the secret rules that are running your life, from how you build a habit to how you fall in love. Your brain is this incredible, complicated, and sometimes just plain weird machine. And now that you know a few more of its secrets, there's really only one question left. What are you going to do with them?